Hello and welcome back to the Runaway American UK edition. This is a requested video on one of my videos that I reacted to about the Mosquito warplane. Like 3 people said, hey, you need to react to when Britain nuked America twice. And I've never heard this, so I'm very curious as to what this entails. So let's just dive in and I'll tell you my thoughts after the video or throughout if I find anything interesting that I just can't keep to myself. Okay, here we go.
In the 1960s, Great Britain nuked the United States not once, but twice.
Definitely never heard of this.
Fortunately for all concerned, the attacks were only training exercises, but so embarrassing were these attacks that they were hidden from the American public for about 50 years, as well as being strenuously denied to the American press for decades.
Oops.
As far as America was concerned, its defenses were 99% effective, but in simulated attacks, Royal Air Force bombers managed to penetrate US airspace to launch nuclear attacks on New York City and several other important urban centers. Before I tell you how, a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by CuriosityStream,
Sorry, guys. Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool, though, this video, or the website.
for lovers of history. How did the British manage to penetrate the world's most heavily defended airspace? The answer is surprisingly simple and consists of 2 words: Avro Vulcan.
Very different aircraft than the Mosquito. Wow, very impressive.
The Vulcan first flew in 1952. The team that created it, led by Roy Chadwick, who had designed the famous Lancaster heavy bomber of World War II. A jet-powered, tailless, delta-wing, high-altitude strategic bomber, the Vulcan was the backbone of Britain's nuclear airborne deterrent during most of the Cold War, serving from 1956 until retirement in 1984. This is the story of Exercise Sky Shield, when Britain nuked its closest ally, exposing how the Soviet Union could have done the same for real. In 1960, the United States decided to run the largest test of its air defenses in history. Exercise Sky Shield 1 occurred on the 10th of September 1960, and all commercial air traffic over the US and Canada was grounded, amounting to 1,000 US commercial flights and 700 general aviation aircraft, plus a further 31 foreign flights due to land in North America.
Wow.
The US Strategic Air Command would launch B-52 Stratofortresses and B-47 Stratojets to simulate a massive Soviet nuclear bomber force approaching North America from north and south. 360 US interceptor aircraft stood ready to defeat these enemy aircraft, which numbered 310. Among those 310 aircraft were 8 Royal Air Force Vulcan B-2 nuclear bombers. A flight of 4 flew from Scotland, while the other 4 launched from the British territory of Bermuda in the Atlantic Ocean. The American plan was to detect these enemy bombers by radar and other early warning systems. Then they would be intercepted and destroyed in simulated attacks by US jet fighters and missile batteries. The attacking bombers split their attacks between high and low altitude. The defending fighters did very well against the Stratojets and Stratofortresses, intercepting many of them, but the Vulcans proved more elusive opponents.
Oops.
The Vulcan flew at the highest altitude of the simulated Soviet bombers, cruising at 56,000 feet.
Wow.
One was successfully intercepted at this altitude over Goose Bay, Labrador, by a United States Air Force F-101 Voodoo. but the other 7 Vulcans all managed to penetrate American airspace to launch simulated bombing attacks on US cities.
Oops.
They then turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland.
Bam. Guess we weren't as good as we thought we
The question
were.
was, how had the Vulcan managed it? The answer was their highly advanced electronic countermeasures systems and the Vulcan's amazing maneuverability. For example, the flight of 4 aircraft that approached from Bermuda were successful because 3 of them put up a wall of electronic interference that prevented interception, while the 4th Vulcan carried out a simulated nuclear strike.
Whoa.
This was all rather embarrassing for Strategic Air Command, which quickly buried all stories about British bombers having nuked US targets and confidently assured the American public that US air defenses were, as I said, 99% effective.
So lying.
However, the following year, the Americans invited the RAF to take part in Exercise Sky Shield 2. Perhaps the US AF was determined to show that the Vulcan's previous success was only a fluke, a one-time only event. Sky Shield 2, which occurred on the 14th of August 1961, was an even bigger event than the first one. It caused 2,900 US and Canadian flights to be grounded, affecting 125,000 commercial passengers. During the exercise, 125 US and British bombers would be pitted against 1,800 fighters and 250 missile sites, and over 200,000 Air Force personnel from the US and Canada.
Coming up on 16.5 seconds. Now, continuing. Yep, and I'm straight ready now.
The plane definitely doesn't look as impressive as the one that the Brits were flying.
6 foot standing by.
Looks just like a normal airplane. Is that
Again,
supposed to look like
8
a normal?
Vulcan B-2s participated, split again into 2 flights. One attacking on the northern route from RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland via Canada, and the other 4 aircraft on a southerly route from Kindley Air Force Base, Bermuda. The B-47 Stratojets simulated low-level Soviet bombers. The B-52s would attack between 35,000 and 42,000 feet, while the Vulcans again operated at the highest
Those are
altitude,
so cool looking, though.
56,000 feet. At the massive NORAD, or North American Air Defense Bunker at Colorado Springs, the US top brass was joined by the RAF's Air Marshal Sir Kenneth Cross of Bomber Command and Sir Wallace Kyle, Chief of the RAF Technical Training Command, to monitor the exercise. Just before 2 p.m., US interceptors pounced on the B-52s, approaching at the mid to high altitude level. The Vulcans also came in from the north, and again, due to the Vulcans' high-tech jamming equipment, only one was shot down by an F-101 Voodoo fighter. In fact, large numbers of US fighters were scrambled, but they concentrated almost exclusively on the B-52s. When the Vulcans came over, the interceptors did not have sufficient fuel remaining to climb to 56,000 feet plus and engage them. The surviving 3 Vulcans conducted their attacks successfully, turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland. The southern attack force of 4 Vulcans from Bermuda reached a position 50 miles off the US coast before fighters were scrambled to intercept. Again, 3 of the Vulcans unleashed an electronic jamming screen that kept the attacking F-102 Delta daggers busy, while the 4th aircraft crept round to the north and sneaked through.
Brilliant tactic as well.
This Vulcan proceeded to land at Plattsburgh Air Force Base in New York. If this had been a real attack, New York City could have been reduced to a smoking, irradiated hole in the ground.
Bad. Not good. Not good at all. I love that they also hid this from the American public for years. 99% effective. We're 99% effective. Yeah. can stop
Many of
basically
the
everything.
stratojets and stratofortresses had also managed to evade interception and launched simulated nuclear attacks, but not at the kind of success rate that the Vulcans enjoyed. In 2 massive exercises of 8 Vulcans that attacked on each occasion, 7 had got through to their targets, an astounding survival rate against the huge might of the US air defenses.
So really we had like a 10% success rate, not a 9%.
The Vulcans showed that with the right aircraft, America could be laid wide open to a nation-ending assault, something which the Soviet Union would have been very interested in. Fortunately for all concerned, the relationship between Britain and the United States never changed from special to decidedly antagonistic, and the Vulcans never came in anger. The American government also tried to make damn sure that nobody ever found out about the Vulcans nuking American cities. The US Air Force was very quick to deny rumors that RAF planes had once again successfully penetrated US airspace. In fact, the US government went so far as to classify all references to Vulcans included in the Sky Shield exercises. After all, if the RAF could practice nuke New York City, Washington, D.C., and even Chicago, the Soviets could do the same, if they could develop an aircraft as good as the Vulcan. As far as Strategic Air Command was concerned, the Vulcan episodes had never happened, and the US was well protected, and that protection, as I said, 99% effective. The Vulcans' successful attacks on America were only fully declassified in 1997, long after the Vulcan had left British service.
Wow.
Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel.
Check out Mark Felton if you want. Obviously, he makes some great videos about history. Absolutely shocking, but not even a little bit shocking at the same time. It seems like we, again, love to lie. They love to lie to us in the American public. You are 99% protected from any airspace attack. Meanwhile, really, success rates, 10%? Like, that is shocking. Absolutely crazy to me. It's mental to think of the fact that they just straight up lie to the American public because they're like, well, that was embarrassing. Yeah. Also, fun fact, my grandfather was in the Air Force during this time period. He would have been probably. It was like well, he was in around the 50s. So exciting. Oh my God. That's scary. Yeah. Ugh. Very, very, very sad to think that, 1, we were that overly confident, and 2, the crazy part to me is the fact that they did it once but not twice. They did it twice, and they used the same tactic. Like, what? Were the other ones not trained for the tactic? Like, they didn't know? Because they spent all their time and energy fighting was it the B-52s they said? And then they didn't even have time to go for the Vulcan. Like, they didn't have the gasoline or they couldn't go to fight them at all because they didn't have the bandwidth. Absolutely mental. Terrible, terrible. The fact that, 1, we were that overly confident. 2, that we lied completely. Just completely straight up lied. Not even a little bit. It wasn't even like an exaggeration of like, oh, well, we did pretty good in the war exercise. It was like, well, we beat them all. Or like they just covered it up and didn't even talk about the fact that it happened at all. So my mind is blown because the fact that, yeah, like New York could have been blown to smithereens. It could have been like a hole, like a radiation hole. And again, no one would have been none the wiser. Like DC, Chicago, New York, easily taken out. Thank God we were still friendly with the UK. I would say, I don't know how you guys feel about us right now. I don't live in the US, so I don't say go after the US. Like I'm more like, please, like, let's still be friends. Most of the, like, please ignore, like, the current issues going on, because I feel that doesn't represent all of us, just some of us, and the some of us that it does represent, we don't like them either. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't blame us also don't blame all of us for the one the one part that's terrible right now. Yeah, again, shocking. And we've been making up our own statistics forever, apparently. Yes, 99% of success. I can't get over that. 99% success rate. When the success rate was like, what, like 10%? Because, like, if there were 7 out of 8, 7 out of 8 successful, that's not looking very good. That means you lost, and not just you lost a little bit, you lost horribly. Like, it went horribly, horribly wrong. And you did it not once, but twice. I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna stop talking, but that was unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching me unravel in the fact that my military has been completely lying as well. It's just the one thing that we thought we had that was good was the military, and that was even taken away. Why are we spending so much money on it? And I'm confused. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more videos like this one. Thank you so much, and goodbye.